Okay, welcome to a class on history and modal verbs in the past, in past forms. And what I mean is modal verb plus have plus the third form. That's always what it is. Look, it's the same here. Should, have and the third form, shouldn't, have and the third form. These are used for past criticism. And so maybe we want to criticize the Titanic, and I mean the people who designed the Titanic, let's say, the engineers. And we might say the Titanic should have carried more lifeboats. The Titanic should have had more lifeboats, because if the Titanic had had more lifeboats, more people would have survived. So the Titanic should have carried or should have had more lifeboats. And we're criticizing we could also say the captain of the Titanic shouldn't have traveled so fast. He shouldn't have rushed across the Atlantic. And I also read that some of the lookouts on the Titanic, that none of them had binoculars, which sounded very strange to me. On the sea, like when you want to see icebergs, I imagine that telescopes and binoculars are very useful. And so the Titanic lookouts should have had binoculars. Of course they should. If the Titanic lookouts had had binoculars, more people might have survived. They might have seen the iceberg from further away, and they might have missed the iceberg. They might not have hit the iceberg. So I'm trying to use this one down here. And this is when you're 50-50. Okay, but with should or shouldn't have, you're criticizing. And so, the Titanic lookouts should have had binoculars. And I don't know if you know the story about Captain Scott. When I talk to foreign students, very often they know about the Norwegian guy, Amundsen, I think that was his name, who got to the South Pole first. Well, he was actually racing an English guy called Captain Scott. But Captain Scott had a different strategy to getting to the South Pole. And you might say that Captain Scott's strategy was so bad that it meant that he and his team died, because they all died coming back from the South Pole, having lost the race. They got to the South Pole second after Amundsen, and on the way back they died. So